Good morning, everyone. How y'all
Good
doing?
morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, let me say you're looking very cute with that hat. It makes me want to get one.
Thank
So
you so
cute.
much. It's so funny because I usually don't wear hats, so I have no idea what my hat situation is looking like this morning. I was like, let's go for a braid,
yeah,
let's go for a ponytail.
I
And
like
oh,
it to the
that's great.
side. Looks good. Looks good. And
Yeah,
then show off your shirt a little bit so we can see.
yeah, the Street Fighter shirt I wanted to wear was in the wash, but this is a collaboration with Tokidoki. Unfortunately, the Street Fighter portion is the lower half of my shirt and not the upper half of my shirt. So
Yep.
trying to work it here, both the Marvel as well as Street Fighter theme, because of our special guest today who we'll be introducing later. And Nu, what about your shirt?
All right. So I got Street Fighter representing. So yeah, I'm very excited for our guest today. I've been wanting to interview her for a while. She has such foundational background in games like this. She can play any game, I think. So we're going to get into that with her. And it seems like she's one of those people that can just like start into something and then she masters it pretty quickly. So I've got some questions about that because I need some help in that area. So
For sure. I've been checking out a lot of her replays too. She's been playing for quite some time, so it's going to
yeah.
be very exciting to introduce her. But let's say good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning, Papa Brad Gaming. I did see self-titled Zach was there first. Very nice. Hi, lady. Good to see you. Steven Schwartzentruber. Philly Chick. Thank you so much for the warm wishes for the medal ceremony. It was it was a half marathon. Thank you, Papa Brad, for calling out the marathon. I wish it was a marathon. Today's the LA marathon, so goodness, all the folks started at 6:30 in the morning LA time to start running. It rained a lot yesterday, so it must be fair weather today. But yeah, I'm super stoked that I finally got my medals. It took me about 2 weeks after the run to finally get them, but they were actually I have them right here because I was going to show them off to my colleagues too.
They're good size.
They're good size.
Yeah.
They're very cute. This one is actually nice for a half marathon. It spins a little bit.
Oh, wow.
But the thing that surprised me was that Disney went the extra step to actually say this was a virtual run, which is what I did. So rather than just giving me the generic like medal that everyone gets, I got a virtual one. And I was just so proud of myself for this. This is really nice.
You should be. That's an accomplishment. I've done a half marathon and I know how tough it is. So bravo.
Yeah, for sure. I trained for a 10-miler, so I was fine running up to 10 miles. On the 11th mile, I just stopped and said, I'm done. I'm not going to do this. I'm done. I was like, no. It's just another 5K. Finish this goddamn run, and it'll be fine. And I love Kongs-R-Us is like, well, you had to run a 10K, so 6 miles and then a half marathon. Did you count the two together? And I was like, no, you don't shortchange yourself. You actually have to run like a 10K, and then the next one you run the half marathon. So that's what I did. I survived. But yeah, thank you y'all for saying congrats in the chat. Good morning, William Wright. Look, the Hubs is awake. Kongs-R-Us decided to let me fly solo. So that's kind of why like things are the way they are right now.
All right.
But yeah, I am doing great. Hey, I have a question. You want to go into our 3Gs and see what's going on this week for you?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
So let's start with Game of the Week, Nu.
All right. So my Game of the Week is Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer. I know I've been playing Call of Duty before, mainly Vanguard, but this came out fairly recently. And of course, this is something that, the update for it, right? My husband's like, no. But he was prompting me to play it. He said, I know you like this style of play, so give this a shot. And the maps are really cool. There's a lot of good, what I call hidey holes. So I've been having fun with that. And in fact, I played this morning just a little bit before we started. So that's my Game of the Week. How about you?
It's funny. I'm trying to get my husband and my child to play Gather with me. So Gather, excuse me. So early in the morning for me. Gather recently released their escape room. Before Gather was just another Zoom place that you're playing an 8-bit character. So a cute little avatar that you get to dress up. You join a little map. There's rooms for you to interact with folks. And it's also a video camera as well as audio and chat that you can do with. But they recently released an escape room, which I signed up for. And I'm trying to get, Kongs-R-Us and our little Kongs-R-Us to join me in the escape room. We used to love escape rooms before the pandemic, but with the pandemic, you want to go touching everything. So doing a virtual one is kind of a little bit different because it doesn't have the elements of like, let me just touch this wall and see if the wall suddenly pops open. So I'm curious to see how it's going to bear out, because with the Gather, it's awesome. Like, you can just create a room really quickly. You can put elements of the room that you can interact with, like links you can go out to, music that can play in the middle of the room. So I'm sort of curious about this escape room element to it too. I've seen virtual escape rooms where you're paying a person to join you in the room and they tell you what you're doing. So you could be like interacting virtually with something, and then they'll tell you like, now see what happens when you push this button. So this one is completely just us. We won't have anybody in the room. And again, I was hoping they would play with it, play with me yesterday, but they're like, nah, let's do other stuff. So I've actually been, it's a joy watching my two children play together. Our daughter just recently got into gaming. They're playing Minecraft Dungeons, which is you're playing little Minecraft characters, again, little 8-bit folks, and then they're going in sort of like this Diablo style, where they're exploring a map and then fighting little zombies and the guys with the 4 legs but no arms. And it's just really fun to see a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old kind of play together. The 10-year-old's very seasoned, he knows what he's doing, and then the 5-year-old just running around screaming on the map. In some portions, she's hiding behind a bush, and it's like, baby, that's not how video games work. You don't just hide behind a bush. You do stuff. So it is, what is going on here? Kongs-R-Us is trying to like steal the chat. Let's do it live with Invite New and Rev. What are we talking about?
Oh, that would be fun. We have the R setup, so we could probably get that going. We've done those types of escape rooms too, like you said, a few years ago, because of all that happened. But they're fun. We went with a group, and it was a good time. So
maybe we should, but I wouldn't want to do it live, because it's one of those things where like you're not supposed to film an escape room, because then you take out the fun elements for everyone else who wants to try it on. So it's not something that like you definitely. Well, I mean, we'll probably want to see our reactions as we try to do something. There's not going to be anything scary or things jumping out at us. I hope not. And then Gather's just like these cute little 8-bit characters running around. It's awesome. All right, so let's go on to geek flossing. What are you geeking out on this week?
All right, I gotta grab this for a second. So I had to quick wash this so that I could display it. But from our last guest.
Oh, cute. Wow, I see it.
Isn't that cute? And
Luna,
it kind of looks blue on the screen, but it's a purple. And I love that I picked that color because it really pops. So yeah, I got my Lady Luna Oda t-shirt. And if you want any merch from her, you can find her on Twitch, like we said. And yeah, I thought it was cute. And it's like a soft t-shirt. So that is my geek floss for today.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, for myself, so excuse me, Disney Pixar released a new movie this week called Turning Red. And I've been just geeking out on this because one thing, it's about a Chinese American who's sort of like growing up, and you're watching the awkwardness of like turning into a teenager, but like sort of a lot of symbolic things without calling like she's on her period. It's like, okay, her what would her mom say? Was the red peony blooming? And I was like, oh, good Lord. My mother-in-law was sitting next to me when we were watching this, and she's like, what's happening here? And I'm like, whoa, this is wrong. I know you had sons, but this kind of thing happens too. But I think the part that I'm geeking out about is the fact that like most times when you're looking at like a lot of Chinese Americans in movies, it's Mandarin speakers. I'm a Cantonese speaker, so just hearing Cantonese in the background, I wish they said more of it, but just hearing it is just like, oh my goodness, it's so cool to hear. And it's just like feeling that representation too, which I think is pretty rad. Nice. And yeah, I'm definitely geeking out about that. The movie is great. It's very cute. We've gone back and watched it a couple times just to pick up a little bit of the nuances of it too, but it's been awesome. Luna saw your t-shirt. She said it turned out great too.
She needs to get some samples. Let's play a little bit of catch up in the chat here because we're a little bit backed up. Oh, okay. Philly Chick, thank you. I had a good time. I'm moving on to a different one. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Let's see.
Oh, I also love Philly Chick's comment. Oh,
go ahead.
If I run 10 miles, I can do a half marathon. What's an extra 3 miles? Yeah, that was like the painful part of just like, I was able to at least run 3 miles, no big deal. So a lot of it was just like at that mile 11 mark, I was like, it was just 3 more miles. Dude, just run it. Just run it. But at one point I was just like crying. I was like, I'm done. I think I'm done.
I can believe it. You hit a wall and it's like your muscles don't want to do what your head is telling it to do. Like just move it forward. But you see those marathoners sometimes at the end, like the ultra marathons, and they are just like breaking it down, So I get it.
Yeah, very true. Steven, what is Infocom games? Let
Yeah, I
us
don't know
know.
what that is either. Infocom games. I'll
And
have to look
escape
into
rooms are
that.
the best. The Geek Kongs, yes, they're called creepers, the little green Polish people running around.
Oh,
And Gibby did a escape room for work where we were directing a person with a GoPro to escape the room we selected. It can give you
oh,
motion sickness. Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Okay. That must be fun. The poor person, the GoPro has like 5 people screaming at your ear, like, go left, go right,
Do it this
touch
way.
this, touch that.
Yep.
I pay good money to see Rev have a freak out in an escape room. What kind of escape rooms have you two done in the past?
The most recent one I can think of is it was at a place called Whirly Ball, which is a fun place because they have a bunch of different games. They have laser tag and Whirly Ball and all that kind of stuff. Gosh, what kind of it was kind of like do you remember what the background was for that storyline? I can't even remember. I remember what the room looked like and everything. We had to like look in books and find different clues and everything. And it was like six or eight of us. So we had a group that we had a couple people that we knew with us too, another couple. And then there was another set of people that we didn't know. So that was kind of fun too. But yeah, I can't even remember the storyline, but we did make it through. We figured it out. But it's just something different to do, every once in a while. So yeah.
Yeah, same. We tend to like we like a mixture of the two. So we've gone to ones that are fully like sort not new age, but like all complete computers, touchscreens, monitors, all that stuff like that. What could go wrong? Sometimes the iPad doesn't work. Sometimes you touch something and it doesn't really turn on. But we
Yeah.
also done like the older ones where and it was hilarious. My son's like, they're watching folks through cameras. I was like, yeah, they have to do that through cameras. They watch each part of your progressions if you ask for help or if they want to trigger something. So we've gone to like the old ones where there's just a camera pointed in the room. No matter what we did, they would just push a button to trigger something to happen. So like maybe a fan turns on, it blows all the papers on the floor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Puzzle. Or like maybe you're about to go through this room, but they drop something to like sort of surprise you, like that kind of element to it too. I'm not a fan of those scary ones. Kongs-R-Us has done the ones in Halloween where he said legit it was strange. They put him into one of those like windowless vans and drove him somewhere, and I was like, you paid money and agreed to do this.
Oof.
And like
Yeah, I
the
don't
idea
know.
was you're supposed to like escape from this killer or something like that, and I was like, yeah, that's a little too intense for me. I think just looking at the hour countdown is enough to freak me out, but having that element of you're supposed to escape this killer, they drive you to like in an unmarked van somewhere where you're not even sure where you're going, and then like you're supposed to escape. It's kind of like, are you sure you're in an escape room, or are you sure you just joined the psychopaths like
Well, yeah.
tour?
Remember that movie, The Game? I think it was called The Game.
I don't know that movie, but
Oh, yeah. That's kind of what it reminds me of. But no, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. He's crazy.
yeah. Oh, for sure. Then hijacking Papa Red Gaming. It was, yeah, that was just beyond crazy. Oh, I just saw Luna said that was her actual signature on the t-shirt too. And that was screened on.
Yeah, and it looks great. It really does. You never kind of know what it's going to turn out to be. You can see the picture of it, but that's, digital. So it's going to look different, but it looks fantastic. So
nice. And then Steven said Infocom is a text adventure genre from the early PC days. Good stuff. Really in-depth stories. That's kind of fun. I'd be into that.
Oh, he put it up. Let's see. An experience called Delusion in LA. Yeah, not for me.
I was saying that's why I was like, go do your thing. I gotta stay home with the children and be fine. We tried to do one with like the scary ones, which was like an Area 51 style. Like you're sort of looking into why the government's hiding aliens, and like there was this one room that we walked into, and it was one of those autopsy rooms, and there's a sheet over the fakey alien, and I was like, this is much. I don't think I want to touch that. I know it's fake, but it's just like, it's much because you have to pull the sheets away. You have to look at the alien, like certain parts of its like body to like retrieve something. You're like, someone else is touching it, not me. I will go get something else on the wall.
That sounds cool to me. I would do that one.
I think the worst part is just seeing something on the table and you're like, is it supposed to spring up? And you're like,
yeah, that's what I would be like. It's gonna move if I touch it, but
yeah, for sure.
All right, so yes, should we go on to the Grudge report?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so this is more of a disappointment than a grudge for me, but I had belt testing promotions, they call them, for karate. And I wanted to move up another belt level because I get a bow staff for the next one. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but it's like a really cool, like it's like kind of what Gambit has, right? And so you do a form or a couple of forms, maybe even with the bow staff. And it, to me, it looks really fun and cool. But I didn't make it all the way. I got some what they call tapes. So it's like you improved, but you're not quite there. So that was a little bit of disappointment for me because I really want to work with the bow staff. But I'll get there next month. There's another promotion. So, but how about you?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your promotion. I really hope that you get to, because I know those things. Those are pretty legit hard. Like when you do martial arts, just to be able to move up in a level, you have to kind of prove yourself. And it's not just like, hey, I've done X amount of classes. I've showed them like X amount of times.
No.
You actually have to prove yourself to do it too. So it's hard. And I mean, kudos to you for getting so far. And yeah, I really hope it turns out really well. For me, my Grudge report is it's spring in our household, which also means spring cleaning, which also means let's make room for more arcade cabinets. So Kongs-R-Us, being truly the Kongs-R-Us that he is trying to find ways to fit more things in our house. So last week during his show, he talked about bringing home this arcade, this big ass arcade where two people are playing a stationary gun and shooting at it. He finally got it home. Barely cleared the end of the garage, so it's just kind of like, can we make sure we push it in a little bit so I don't break my garage door every time we lift it up? And we still have one parked car in the garage, and I'm sticking to that because like I am not putting two cars outside. So I still need to be able to drive in and drive out. The doors still run into like the Star Wars pod. It still runs into stuff. But now he's like, let's clean up upstairs in his arcade room. We used to have a big TV, so I think it was like 56 inches or 60-inch TV. We also had 2 bookcases full of DVDs. And he said, we don't play DVDs anymore. Let's get rid of that. Like, okay, we can get rid of that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't really watch this TV anymore. Let's get rid of that. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Let's get rid of these bookcases. Whoa, wait. What are you doing with my bookcases?
Then you're like, hold on.
Hold on. What else are we putting up here? Because it's already a fun house and it's already extended way past. And he goes, no. I sold some arcades. But I also have a few that I haven't built downstairs and I'm not sure if I'm going to bring up here. So my grudge is the fact that I'm slowly losing pieces of my house because it's getting a little unwieldy with all his stuff and he's bringing in more stuff. So we have 3 full-size arcades downstairs in the garage, only one of which is working. And then upstairs has become like madness with all his extra like right now it's sort of actually if I knock the screen, it's not only the arcades are taking over, he's gotten a little bit more commissions and now I have like panels all over the floor, one of which fell on me when I was trying to like just get into the room. So it's like, what is happening here? And no, you cannot ask the chat who watches DVDs anymore, Kongs-R-Us. That's beside the point. You just took away my
comment above Webhead's comment.
Yeah, I think every Grudge report is about Kong. And, you know, as
we
much
could
as
do
I
a whole
love
show about your house and what needs to happen.
seriously. But no, I don't think we need more space for arcades, Papa Bad Gaming. It's just gotten really crazy. And it's not even KonMari. This is the sad part. It's making space for other space that brings some joy, I think.
Yeah, open space is a good thing sometimes. You know?
Yeah. Oh, did you see that comment from Philly Chick?
Oh, yeah, Taekwondo. Yep. So the kind of karate that I do has Taekwondo elements. It's they call it Americanized karate. So there's a lot of Taekwondo in there too. Yep.
So those are our 3 Gs. I think it's time to bring in our guest so we can ask her what's going on.
Yay.
Hello, StormQueen.
Welcome.
How are you? You're still on mute. I see you talking.
Snap. Oh my, I'm
there we go.
Hi everybody, good morning. Sending you all loving energies.
Oh, thank you.
Thank y'all for giving me a chance to get dressed because y'all know what happened. You know, we had ladies chat, beforehand.
We get it. Not a problem. Thank you for being here. We've like in the back of my mind, well, I talked to you about this a while ago when we were putting the show together. You know, I want to interview you because you have so much knowledge about gaming. So we're going to get into it. But maybe we should allow for, did you hear us do the 3 Gs?
Okay, I heard the Grudge report, but I was
Okay.
like, I was so caught up in Mrs. Kongs-R-Us talking about the escape rooms. Like,
Oh,
as a gamer, I want to try to play VR so bad, but having mental disabilities and things playing with distorting my reality when some of those mental disabilities already kind of do that, it's kind of like
yeah.
it's an interest there, but how do I say this? The closest thing I got to VR because it just looks so fucking awesome was Beat Saber. Like I had to touch Beat Saber as a
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, I love Beat Saber, both playing the game and watching someone else play. It's just hilarious. You're just like, what are you swinging at? What are you trying to hit? It's fun.
Yep.
But actually, before we go into 3Gs for you, I always start off with an icebreaker question. I think this would be fun for the chat as well. But Storm Queen, if you had to live in a world that you in the last game that you played, what would it be? So think about the last game you played if you had to live in that world.
Oh hell no. I literally just bought and just touched Elden Rings before my company got here. And the way Elden Rings work, look, first of all, I'm gonna just throw this out here. The reason why I play video games so well because I'm not only okay with being hit, but it's like I'm already in that VR world. I'm already like every time I get hit, it don't matter if that damage is going down. To see the effect of my character, which I embody as me, getting like smacked and hearing that shit, it's like, okay, wait, let me reanalyze because Shorty just punched me in the face and it kind of hurt. So what do I do?
That's interesting that's how you're thinking about when you play, that you are that character and you're feeling what that character is going through and that you perceive things differently when you play. That's really interesting. I've not heard that before. I don't know if I could even get into that headspace, but that's really cool. That probably adds a lot to why you can play as good as you do, so.
To be honest, that's legitimately what started me into learning martial arts. Like I was learning karate for a little bit of time in my life. That Taekwondo, and I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh,
Like a lot of that was like started from video games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, because even though you had 6 buttons, certain things was actually martial arts, and a lot of people didn't pay attention to that. And as kids, we just emulate the and not even really like comprehending that these are literally like martial arts scrolls that video games could teach you, and a lot of people started that way as well.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Hey, I don't know if you were able to buy a donut today. How about you, Mrs. Kongs-R-Us? Do you have your donut ready?
I have blueberry muffins in the shape of Hello Kitty's head, or at least my children like to say,
that's
zombie
too
Hello
cute.
Kitty. Yeah, they were trying out a recipe from KiwiCo. So KiwiCo is one of those like Tinker crates that you can get, and they're like, "Mom, we gotta try this. We have everything at home," and it's like, your mom has to figure out where everything is, and then we'll make it. So I mean, it's pretty good. It's still moist. We made it last night. One of the cats tried to eat it. Storm Queen, did you get yourself a donut too? Or?
Yeah,
I didn't necessarily have a donut. However, I do have a pineapple upside down cupcake.
Ooh, that's like next level. Next level. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
I have to get something that had a little fruit, have a little cake, have that little. I need a sugar rush. I need my blunt and I need my sugar rush in the morning. Some people have their coffee, but I got to get my man right by self. Every time you see me smoking, I don't know if anybody pays attention to this, but I self-reflect a lot, like so much, because it's hard to comprehend consecutively that every time you interact with somebody could possibly be the last time that you see them, interact with them, or even be around them. So I try to embody that in everything I do, especially when it comes to women like you, Nu and Kongs-R-Us. Like, even though y'all don't play the games that I play or we play, to me, it don't matter. As long as your ass pick up that controller and get frustrated with that shit, you are a gamer in my heart. You officially passed your trials. Welcome. High five. You feel me?
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. I don't know if you saw mine, but today I went with the custard-filled chocolate. So that's my jam today.
See,
okay.
If we friends, y'all gotta understand. If we friends and we go out to eat, you're gonna have to probably put you some to the side, because I like eating off my friends' plate. Like, girl, what is that? Ooh, let me get
Yeah, like everybody tries a little of somebody else's. Yeah, that's great.
That's what I usually do. I wait for my friends to order something so I could order something completely different so that we can at least like try it. Because if we're eating the same thing, it's kind of like, what's the point? I don't get to taste it.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to go out and we all just ordering the same salad or I don't want to be one of those girls. I like all of my friends having their own identity, and that brings flavor to not only the food table but the conversation.
That's right. Makes it more interesting for sure.
Philly Chick said that she got into Taekwondo as a kid due to Karate Kid, and also Japanese sword art due to Star Wars, and eventually Aikido, which she's been practicing for 16 years. So
it's turn on, sis.
like
Bow
real
down.
life emulates sort of like
Don't pull my ass.
Yeah. But awesome. So I left that question in the chat for everyone if they wanted to talk about the last world that they played and what it would be. But StormQueen, we got the 3Gs to ask you. So the first one, what game of the week are you playing right now?
Okay. Is it can I okay. Before I answer it, because there's multiple, because I'm one of those gamers that have my favorite games and they will always be played every single day, but then I will waste money, lots and lots of money on buying multiple games and be like, which one do I play first? Where do I go? But I'm actually playing two different games. I'm playing Elden Ring and King of Fighters 15.
Oh, yeah.
As a fighting gamer, I have to always. I don't really like the modern day fighting games, but I feel like I have to at least touch every single game just in case, I got to teach somebody, play with somebody, because a lot of these communities die off because they don't have nobody to play with. And it's really sad because everybody like, oh, this is my favorite game, or this is my favorite game, or this game makes sense, or this game makes sense. Baby, we not making this. We just giving these people our money to low-key tell us eventually, okay, fuck this server because we put something else out, and you're going to buy that because of popularity. And to me, popularity is the interest of the community.
Very true, very true. But I love the fact that you're going back and playing all the old school games too. That is rad. And like Elden Ring, this is like the third or fourth time someone has told me about it. So I feel like I need to get into it, check it out, and see what it's about.
That's my only reason why I got that, because like as a Twitcher, like I have people that I talk to and play video games with, but then it's like, that's why I didn't want to do this shit. I ain't gonna cap, because it's like, I don't want to fall into popular opinion and believes as that's a good game. I was never into the soul games, but me and my friends playing on Twitch and their stream platforms, the partner that I'm in love with until I manifest him back, he was always. You okay, you know how you guys talk about y'all living arrangements in space with y'all partners and the arcade they do? That was his soul games. He would play that after we played Tekken for hours. I would literally go to sleep after we, he'll be playing Soul. I'll wake up 6 hours later. He'll be playing Souls.
Yeah. That will steal your time, that kind of a game. That's a part of why I can't get into that, at least right now. And I know that it's like really super hard if, unless there's that kid that went through like beat all the bosses and went through in like 37 minutes or something like that. But if you're really playing it to go through the experience of it, it can take a lot of time. And that can be a good or a bad thing. But yeah. So. All right,
I'm a jealous girlfriend, so you can't play anything more than me.
We got a geek floss from you. You have anything that you want to show or talk about?
See, I like that this is like, to me, random, but I kind of wish I knew, like, to bring something to the class today. Because I'm like,
if you don't, that's fine. We have plenty of other questions for you.
I got a ton of shit that I can show off, but it's like,
anything recent, like tech stuff. Didn't you get some new tech stuff, like for your studio? I thought I saw you talking about that.
Oh no, I have a lot of shit that I don't know how to use. Like, for example, I have a Steam Deck that's literally sitting right behind my PC, my laptop, and I don't know how to use it. Like, there's tons of videos. Everybody like, there's the YouTube video. There's a YouTube video. I have ADD, ADHD, and every time I watch anything over 5 minutes, unless it's family, like New Kongs, any of the content creators that I know, I'm falling asleep. I'm dead ass. Like I told Mo, like so many times, like, bro, I'm in here, but please don't ask me questions because I am sleeping. I'm falling asleep to your voice. I don't know how I feel about that, but I want to show support. I want to show love,
Yeah.
but my attention span is very short.
All right. We hear it. We hear
Totally
it. Let's
fine.
move on. Let's
Yeah.
move on. Let's move on to the questions that we have just for you. Because you're
Ooh.
going to be able to just like rapid fire on these.
Oh, I
Okay.
hope so.
Okay. So first one, well, this won't be rapid fire because it's a longer type answer. Tell us about your journey playing games. Way
Ooh.
back.
Y'all got the time for that? How much? Because my story is a real story. And I tell people all the time, like, I don't come for money. My family was literally the first people in my family that weren't necessarily well off, but they actually worked hard to make sure that their kids had what they wanted. But before that, I come from a very traumatic ass background. So if y'all really want that, like, I want to let you know I'm from Chicago. I know people say that on TV, and that's supposed to mean all kind of stuff, but it means a lot to the residents of here because a lot of things that's normalized, like death is so normalized as how do I say this? It's lavish to me. I was a suicidal kid. I'm gonna start there. Let me put this blunt down and actually like get to the point. Growing up, I'm an empath, and I had okay, fuck. Let me be a buck because I love what Nu and Rev did. The fuck up Friday. Oh, I love that. It was so intoxicating. I was there for it. Like yes, because that shows me love. That shows me that you can receive me as a person and deal with that shit in a way that is it's toxic, but it's our love. And can't nobody fucking judge our fucking love. And I was there for it. So with that being said, like there comes a dark time in every relationship. And being a child, you forget that, you know, everybody around you is human. And if you look at this scar on my left hand, like my parents gave that to me growing up, I kind of felt like I was unwanted because of all the strife that my biological father put my mother through, even though she had her own motherfucking life too. Like my peoples is hood people, and they you know the shit that girls be doing, like I'm gonna fuck with the rival type shit to get on your nerves type shit. My mama did that shit. She was successful at making my stepfather one of the few men that taught me to respect not only myself but everyone around me. And rest his soul, he's only been gone for a month due to COVID. So to everybody who caught COVID, like I'm sending you all loving energies, whether you can breathe, whether you cannot, like everything. Like this time for everybody is about bringing us all closer and remembering that life is precious. Every time you look at Nu, every time you look at Kongs-R-Us, Mrs Kongs-R-Us, that time that you're smiling and enjoying that, don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
Don't take that for granted because this shit could end tomorrow. It could end while it's happening. So with that, like like I said, I come from a very dark background. Like I received this because I almost killed my sister in a bathroom by putting toilet paper under the door and setting it on fire. As an empath, I felt all the energies of my background and what it comes with, not just me, but who seed I am is problematic to what they want to build. And a lot of times I ran away from home. A lot of times I was put out. I was in mental institution after mental institution, took Ritalin growing up. And I was a very violent person because I have to deal with other people's emotions emitting over my own in a way that it was controlling me. And it took a few therapists, shout out to David Ryland, that taught me, even if you are suicidal, no one wins with that. Nobody wins. If you're thinking that you're going to get away from other people, no. What about the people that actually is happy that you're there? What about the people that enjoy your time? And he made me self-reflect on that. Like, damn, if I am trying to do this for somebody else's benefit, is depreciating the value of what I did bring into other people's lives. So that's where video games came in handy, especially fighting games. When I would feel those energies and want to do crazy shit, I'm finna go fatality a motherfucker with Shao Kahn, any character on Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was the very first game that was about blood and gore and death, which confused me about Street Fighter because it was like, if I'm beating your ass and throwing strong gusts of wind to the point that it hurt you,
Yeah.
where's the death? Like,
Right.
so we
Why
can kick
aren't
your
you
skull off.
showing that?
So it made the interest like more so fascinating. That's why even now as an adult, when I want to whoop somebody's ass, when people want to disrespect me because I'm a transsexual or whatever the case may be, usually because I can whoop their fucking ass in a video game, it makes them believe that you're supposed to be a shitty ass person because, hey, that's what people used to do. Bruh, cut that shit out. Because I'm gonna whoop your ass, give your ass love. Depending on who you are, we gonna talk that shit. And I'm about it. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you're like, I'm gonna whip your ass, but I'm also gonna give your ass love.
right.
Yeah.
In the moment,
It's
that's
amazing.
totally agree with
Amazing. I
you.
mean, what a transition that you've gone through. Like, talk about pendulum swing, and you did the work, you know, because people don't change unless they really want to. So that's awesome. And I had some inkling that that's what, you know, that's where it started with. So kudos to you. Kudos to you, because, and we're glad that you're in our lives, because you add so much of that love and your energies. And every time you enter into somebody's stream, that's what it's about. You just send it out there. And I can appreciate that. Hit it and quit it. You know, you just, hey, I'm here for you. I might not be here the whole time, but that's cool. I'm supporting you. And that's very much appreciated.
Aww.
So yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that, Storm Queen. We did have a second question to ask you. So I know it's all over the place.
Of course, that's what's supposed to be about.
Yeah. We talked about like what game you're playing for the week, and like you mentioned like quite a few that you're playing on, but what are your current favorites?
Favorites? Have my favorites changed? Oh, Tekken is so beautiful. I'm definitely like rocking super hard with Tekken because of the whole, once again, martial arts aspect.
Okay.
It teaches you, honestly, real life fighting. Like, you can fight in real life like it's a 2D, but if somebody sidestep your arm, you didn't hit them. And they have momentum. It teaches you so much. So, you know, as a trans woman in Chicago, I'm always thinking about ways to defend myself because it's real, but it's beautiful too. It's not saying that that's what it's all about, but it's also saying to keep that in the back of your mind that shit like this is happening. So prepare yourself just in case you are put in the situation.
Yep. Amen to that.
So when you think about it, it's like we deserve to be here. Why the hell do we have to always watch like what's happening? Like, we're in this dark place, we're just walking back, we're trying to get home. Like, why do we have to worry about these stupid things? Like, just, we deserve to be here. Like, it boggles my mind, like having to like go through that mentality constantly, saying like, I don't need to worry about walking home late at night by myself because I deserve to be here and be safe.
It's not even just trans women, it's women in general. And learning about the women's suffrage in high school, but also, first of all, any knowledge for school that I can see in my community, in my everyday life, and other people that I interact with throughout the world, women are like depreciated, and they are some of the smartest humans on this world, like that creates, teach, educate, and to actually create the humans. And it bothers me of how women are looked at in a lot of ways. So I'm definitely like pro woman, like pro choice on everything, because as a woman you don't really get a choice. People try to attack your emotion, try to attack your character, try to attack your intellectual being. They try to make you feel inadequate on many levels. So when I see like Rev right there bringing his woman into the stream, like, look, I know I need help, but I want you to interact type shit, that shows me the equality. When he cursed your ass out like that shit, it shows me the true equality. I'm there for it. And I need people to see like life is supposed to be. This is my mom calling. Let me tell her real quick. Mom, I'm on stream right now with an interview. I'm gonna send you the link. So come pull up and like watch it.
Oh, it's so cute.
Almost at my house. Yeah, the TV's on.
It's cute. But I love, like, everyone was also mentioning that, like, you think about fighting games, it brings us back to, like, what we're doing as crazy.
Sorry about that.
Like, I'm interested in it, too. Oh. I think she's taking this call.
Okay.
Oh. See, this is the Chicago. Like, look, I'm doing something. I'm glad you called. Oh, look, stop what you're doing because mommy called. I need that back.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
now. Okay, mommy. It's always respect and love. Like I tell people, like where you've been and where you are now, that pain is something that you have to deal with. You have to learn to remember that people are human. Everything that you go through, once you learn the people around you, is not supposed to be about you inflicting or imposing your will upon them. If you don't want that shit around you, just don't be around it.
Right. Yep.
It's just that simple. I've been seeing people tear people down. I'm one of those people, I will vent on Facebook. Facebook is my diary. And if you're there, I'm posting whatever I feel that I want to post. And some people don't like that, especially when it's like, me once again, venting my feelings. Like a lot of times, like I'm posting other things that I'm in is because I'm venting those feelings. Like I'm so ecstatic. Like I did on you guys. Like I posted them on all my platforms, Instagram, all four of my Facebooks, Twitter, like, bruh, come watch, come share the love, bring your sandwich. Don't forget your donuts. Also, y'all to know, if you're going to come into this space, understand that I'm also giving you low-key literature that can bring you in and become part of the community. Can you guys give me a second? I got to go something.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to remove that and let her give her space and time. It's so cute. Whenever mom calls, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and ask mom, how's it going?
Yeah, that's great that she was like, hey, okay, but watch.
I love it too. The fact that like, mom, here's a link. Just go follow and watch it. I think my parents always wonder, like, what am I doing? And they're like, no, you do your thing. My goodness, I am going to take a look at the chat and see what's going on. I love that.
Missed some.
Yeah. I love that we're getting a lot of positive energies this morning. I love that my kitten is trying to tap me on the thigh to see like what's going on. But also, let me get some of that blueberry muffin. Let's see. Oh, Billy Chick did say last adventure game I played was Ocarina of Time. I played it on N64 emulator in my early 2000s. It took me so much of my time to beat. Yeah. I think about all those games too. Like when you think about like you're not just playing it to beat the boss. Oh, you mentioned like a team just played 30 minutes of was it Elder?
It's like 37 or 47 minutes and went through the whole thing, like beat the game. So obviously skipped through a lot of things you don't need to beat the game. But to me, that's like not. I get why people do that. Obviously, you can say, "Hey, I did it in this time," and you're the first or something. But no, I want to experience what's going on in the game and take some more time with it. But I know that would be too much of a time suck for me, and it would be incredibly frustrating. I've seen good players have to do things over and over and over, and I just be like, no, I'm good.
I know there's a fine balance to it too, because I'm just thinking about some games where you do need to level up in order like to advance and play more about it, and there's some that you just like you're playing it just to like have that. Yeah, I got to this level feature to it too. And I just remember watching like Kongs-R-Us when we first started dating, watching him level up during Final Fantasy VIII, the same area over and over and over again. And I was like, dude, move on. Like, I get you want to be getting like the greatest like weapon and stuff like that too, but move on. But there are some people who are like, that's awesome to hear and like awesome to be able to want to do too. I think she is back with us. I'm gonna add her back to the stream. Okay. We good?
Yes, I'm good. She winded because she was like, hey, keep talking to me. I'm like, but I just told you and you just said.
The danger when you pick up the phone for mom.
Yeah, because, bro, the moms will pull that mom card like, I'm your mom, ain't shit and more important than me. I know, but Ma, you just said. Thank you for understanding that.
Oh, no problem. So here's what I'm really quite interested in, because it seems that you take to games really easily. But what is the most difficult game you have ever played?
What do you mean by difficulty? Like learning it?
You couldn't master what you needed to do to keep moving forward in it. You got really frustrated with it.
Type put it down, like I never played it again type shit?
Yes.
Let's see, Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, and I kind of put down 5, but I don't dislike 5. But growing up 2 was like the hardest to comprehend. But now seeing other people, because I do have a Rinnegan, I can see anything now and literally adapt to it and do it myself. So watching my baby daddy, shout out to Johnny, shout out to Johnny. watching him play, it was like, and then when you have knowledge and we speak about these things, I can play any fighting game. Every fighting game has a rubric to it. Everything have rules, everything. And once you have somebody who, for me, once you can connect to my spirit and I can understand your dialect, because not everybody know what plus frames is, or it's not even everybody know what a shoryuken is. They call it a dragon punch.
Right.
There is
Different terms. Yep.
yeah. But when you fuck with somebody, you in your spirit link, you'll be able to connect more with their understanding beyond just the reasoning of why. Because fighting games is more than just buttons; it's literally mind games. And if you don't have a way to implement a mind game, you're just waiting for an opportunity. And when people can peep that at different levels, they'll be able to abuse the fact that you can't really create an opening to do anything. You have to wait.
It's crazy. Like a couple of streams back, I think it was one of Rev's streams, you were talking, StormQueen, about like how you can even hear just the combination of buttons and you can anticipate the next thing, and just being able to hear that dynamic of it too. Like I remember you're saying something like you could hear like a certain like tap tap and then this, you're like, I know what's going to happen immediately next. And that's so crazy to know that like
blows my
that's another
mind.
part of it. You're not just watching the characters do an action, but you're listening and being reactive to just button pushing.
Can I tell y'all a funny story about that?
Yeah.
Recently, I don't know if y'all watched my stream, but my ex came over. He stole some weed, so I ain't gonna get on that yet. But yeah, while we was smoking and stuff, I realized like throughout the years of me playing the game with him, because I'm not a stick fighter, but I can play on stick. If you don't have a silent stick, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I can hit your buttons, and everything takes time to come out. Some things have startup frames, some things have recovery frames. And knowing that, and I can hear your sounds, bro, I can literally counter your ass every fucking time, because you're allowing me in reality to feel when you press a button, hear when you press a button, knowing how to stop certain things. Because like we said earlier, the dragon punches, those are invincibility starter frames. I hear you pressing a button, that means your character finna do something. And if I'm in the middle of a move, I can literally cancel that with a show. You can just smack your ass away.
Yeah. Like I said, you embody the whole experience. You're taking in all of the tells that people are giving to you, and that's just, it's a lot of information to be taking in at the same time. So that's very impressive to me. Well, let's move this on a little bit, because we're running a little bit later. So let's get to, let's go to your Twitch channel. We want you to promote yourself, okay? And tell people, if they have no idea who you are and what you do, what your Twitch channel is about for playing games.
Oh, except for playing games.
For playing games.
About that. So, complete disclaimer. When you click on, once again, I want to also do this, but I don't want to like to diversify myself, where people who are just looking for me to play the game don't really get to see me play the game as much, because I'm interacting a lot. When my Twitch is low-key about life, like all kind of shit will happen on my Twitch. So once again, the disclaimer, my Twitch is twitch.tv/DarkStormQueen. Yeah, you can go follow me there. And I'm also on YouTube at DarkStormQueen. I'm going to start putting my videos on demand, like whatever I feel is the highlight of that stream. Okay. So for the people like myself who like, get to the point, bitch, come on, I got 5 more minutes up, I gotta go to sleep now. So I'm gonna do that for you guys. But a lot of my streams, like if you look at my page, is rated M through X, because yes, my story, my life is so cliche. When I started learning about life and different things like being trans, I was like, damn, it's other people who did this. So my story, I was an escort. Now I do porn. And a lot of my conversations, even though I do that, I'm like the martyr of my family. I help everybody, no matter how old you are, with comprehending a lot of stuff that they don't even understand come their way, because I'm an empath. I do have vision. This is a lot of shit about me. So I do play games. I do want y'all to know that that is a thing, but constantly, like recently, that gets interrupted with, like you see, hey mom, real life type stuff. Let's have a heart to heart, because no matter who I'm talking to, I want our spirits to be able to connect. I want, no matter if you just come in here just to learn how to shoryuken from my ass, that you take more with you. And by more, I mean within your spirit, within your soul, that beyond me learning and getting what I wanted, I got more. I got love. I felt like, I was happy to be that type shit. And That's what my Twitch is mostly about. That and I smoke, I sing a lot, I rap. Like it's
Yeah.
very free flowing. I play a lot of games because I'm a gamer. Even though I fight, I shoot a lot as well. And now that I have a Nintendo Switch, I have Mario games. I was that person that Nintendo came out when I was a kid, and Nintendo was the shit. So
Yeah.
I love me a good Mario. So I'm playing
Yep.
that and Zelda, like Breath of the Wild before Breath of the Wild 2
Mhm.
comes out, because I heard that's a thing. So I don't like playing stories games like the second one and then going back. I like knowing what the whole story is about. That's like hopping in Harry Potter at the prisoner of Azkaban and you not understanding what the Sorcerer's Stone was about, because it's a whole story that ties into the characters and how the plot changes throughout the game. So I definitely am like gonna be looking forward to that on my stream. So definitely come once again to twitch.tv/Dark Storm Queen and definitely check that out.
Awesome. Awesome.
I have a question about that. So, do you mind if I take the next question, New?
Yeah.
Ooh, a
Well,
Kongs-R-Us question. Okay, Miss
yeah.
Kongs.
Well, it's also news questions that she generated, but you mentioned a couple times too. So we call you Storm Queen, and I know when Kongs-R-Us was trying to create the thumbnails, he kept asking me like, which one should I create? So, question about your name: where did it come from? And then you also have like multiple versions of it too.
Very much so. So, as I told you, I'm an empath. I've been going through life, and so the name Storm Queen was my second emulation name. The first one was Grand Duelist Trinity because growing up I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I almost won a few tournaments. And the names I would give myself at that time was more like aspirations to always keep the goal in mind. So like I said, the name was Grand Duelist Trinity. The Grand Duelist is the highest that you can get after you leave regionals and nationals, like you're a
Okay.
Grand Duelist. And even though I didn't ascertain that, that's what it was. And then I let that go because main Caleria was like out, and it was you could play Marvel 1 and X-Men, and shout out to Kick Jirachi, shout out to LMX, who is still a part of the community, shout out to the Justin Wong, shout out to everybody who played X-Men versus Street Fighter back when Evo was a thing back in the early 2000s. Like that's where Storm Queen came from. Those people was already playing them, like Joker and with LMX. And I was like, everybody got Storm, everybody got Storm. I want to be the queen of all storms.
Nice.
And that's how it started. Then I became Neon Storm Queen because that was like a couple of years later. My mom used to always put me out, and because she will always see me like download MAME and Caleria on her PCs, and she'll get a virus out of nowhere. You know, parents thinking that, oh, since this game is on there, I'm getting a virus from this game. I think a couple of times she kind of did, but we gonna keep telling her. We ain't gonna talk about that. And I was leveling up from learning by just playing against people like LMX, Kick Jirachi, what's Magneto Maniac. Oh my God, there's so many people that got on my nerve. It was so brutal. Astro, like Canada, USA was really amazing. And then I learned that people overseas in the UK were freaking awesome, Australia. And then Dark Storm Queen came about when all the toxicity was just too much. Like Neon was when I realized that nobody was beating me. Like blur these neon lights in your eyes with these Storm Queen combos you are not fucking with. No matter when you started this shit, I am not like I was about that infinite life back in the day. That's when she became Neon. So shit got real dark when people start like, okay, I was a catfish. I was not comfortable with how I look as a black trans, not even understanding that's what I was because of how I was attacked in different ways from some of the people in the community. Shout out to Xenos, because me and her, like Dave the Magician, we squashed our beef and became actual friends, you know, from the stupid shit, because we actually had energies of each other. And that's where Dark Storm Queen came from. I was using my friend picture. Then when people knew that that wasn't my picture, I took a picture of me with a black bandana. A bitch always had edges. A bitch always had a little hair. And, you know, I was hiding my face because I didn't know, like, you know, how people would perceive how I looked, like everybody did when you're body conscious and stuff like that. And I was made fun of. And then I was like, well, since you're making fun of me and people like you because you're good at this game, bitch, I'm gonna learn that game that you playing and whoop your ass.
I love it. Yes.
And that name just stuck. Like, I became the Storm Queen because I wanted to leave that side line because, like I said, that was the reason why Storm Queen became dark. Like Phoenix, when she took all the energies of life that was on Earth, she was like, "Fuck that! I'm the strongest bitch. What's up? Let's go."
Yep. I love the Dark Phoenix, one of my favorites. So I'm with that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing that. And actually, Kongs-R-Us had a question that he threw in. And have you won any fighting game tournaments?
One, I think I did. Yeah. A lot of X-Men tournaments I won. But they was like emulation. I don't want to say but, like that diminishes the value because a lot of these people that's playing emulation is now in these arcade one-ups and many other places. Like it's all training. It's all about how you translate. Like I tell people, I'm a keyboard warrior, but here I am playing on stick. Here I am playing on a pad. I can do that, but it's just translation. Like English and learn another language. You can translate it. It's going to be hard to do it. You have to work towards it, but you already have the knowledge. You have half of it. You just have to embellish on it.
That's a good way to look at it. Yep.
And Philly Chick has a lovely message for you. She loves how Storm Queen makes space for herself in a place of adversity.
I do that so much because, like I said, I was bullied, and I don't like that in Chicago. Like we hood as fuck. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I can't deal with it. It's like we're not gonna demand the respect, but we're not gonna tolerate the disrespect. And when you have those two as yin and your yang, and you're trying to find the middle ground, a lot of people aren't able to find the love and that means. Like I said, we won't demand respect, but we will not tolerate disrespect. That's love right there by me telling you that I'm gonna come in not doing anything to you and just being my normal self. But if you try to do something to me, know that I'm a human being and you probably wouldn't like it if I did it to you. So I used to match energies, and that made me a funky person. Once again, people don't match motherfuckers' energies. Maintain your energies. Because when you start matching people, sometimes, baby, you lose that match and your motherfucking energies are stuck. So there you go. I just release a lot of people's spirit, and amen, hallelujah. I love you all.
Oh, well, we love you too. Man, we're gonna have to talk to you again. Maybe we'll come on your show because then it'll be your element, and because I can tell that you're kind of like, I need to be a little bit PG-13, and that's cool. But we'll have another time where we can really dig in and get down into it. So I think, are we wrapping up at this point? I think we're at an hour and a half. That went by so fast. That's crazy.
Truly. Yeah, this hour has flown by, Storm. You've made this conversation so warm, inviting, and real. I just love it. So many comments about like just being real and keeping it like the way it is. And I just love the fact that like you tie in a lot of these things too, not just into like your personal life, but also like bringing in games and warping it and saying like we deserve to be here, but then we also deserve to be gaming, which is like one of the topics I've always wanted to know is just like female representation in the gaming community. And you embody the fact that like, look, I'm going to come in, I'm going to be good at this and kick your ass, but at the same time, give you the loving that you deserve.
Everybody deserves love. Everybody, even the ones that feel that they don't. It's all about how they perceive it. And even some people that's been funky to you for primarily most of your life, once they see that, they can't change your spirit, because a lot of people just used to seeing one thing. And when they're able to see that and they feel that warm invitation, the invitation, they eventually, warm up and change their ways.
Yeah.
Very true. And I did see a comment from Pop-Up Brad saying this was the best way to start the morning, just having all this positive energy and feeling like all of this. Thank you so much for bringing it into this show today and like just sharing and reminding us like stay in the now, like enjoy the now, because like it is, as you mentioned, like this is what we have. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Everyone, thank you so much in the chat for like filling up full of love. Hopefully we will see everyone soon. Have a wonderful Sunday. Nu, would you like to include anything?
No, I'm good. We're going to be doing new things, so you'll see it come out when it comes out. But again, thank you, Storm Queen, and you guys have a great Sunday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. I'm having having trouble clicking on stuff right now. I think my internet's about to go out.
You still live too.
I know this is weird right now. I cannot click on